live from Japan. This is Sunday, May 27th, and this is Stark Raving Totals. Welcome to the segment, Stark Raving Totals, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern, and I still have a cold. Just getting over it. So we're here to talk about totals, go figure. We're going to talk about the NBA Eastern Conference Finals here, Cleveland and Boston. Interesting number. We're going to talk about that. Don't forget SBRpicks.com, Sportsbook Review. Of course, that's the main webpage. I always have that one up. YouTube channel, that is this. A lot of good segments out there you've got to check out. A lot of good handicappers. Get in there. Get your voice heard. And get some comments back. It's going to help you hopefully profit throughout the day or throughout the week or the month. And, of course, our Facebook page. A lot of links on there that you got to check out. Okay, so interesting line. Now, we did drop yesterday. We had Houston and Golden State went over the total. But I'm sorry. I didn't know Houston was not going to score the second half. I can't really do much about that. I thought that was a good call. They went to 111 or 112 after the first half. And then this is what really bugs me. It was at 112, and then the second half line was 107. So usually odds makers are kind of dialed in on how the second half's going to roll, at least decently so. And they didn't get close. I was really disappointed in Houston. Holy cow, they did not score that second half. I mean, it was bad, man. What, they score like 9 points in the fourth quarter? It was terrible. But that's the way it goes sometimes, and you just got to kind of roll with it and get to the next play, and that's today. All right, I got my coffee. We're coming to you from Japan. It's the morning for me, and we're going to try and pick up a winner here. Check this out. Okay, so NBA playoffs have been, although we did drop our last one, I think we went, so it looks like we did, I think we lost, we won, we lost. No, we won, we lost, we won, and we lost. So the last four have been kind of back and forth. Let's see if we end on a high note here on the Eastern Conference. We're doing okay in that. I think we're 4-2 with the Eastern Conference so far in the NBA playoffs as far as totals are concerned. So, well, I'm 4-2. I don't know if you caught every segment because I don't think because we're Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. I don't think every segment was on. All right, so here we go. We know Love's out. Okay. The last game, 109-99. I personally had the over on that. The pace was not particularly fast, with Cleveland getting up 87 attempts, Boston just 74. Both teams shot great. Boston shot 51.4% overall. Cleveland shot 47% overall. Both teams shot great from distance, hovering around 40%. LeBron was out of his mind. We know all that information. Then we go to the game previous to that, where Cleveland really struggled. Boston 96, Cleveland 83. Again, the pace not particularly fast, but they switched hats. Boston got up 85 attempts, and Cleveland got up just 74. Neither team shot particularly well. 41% from Cleveland. Boston just 36.5%. Yikes! And they still scored 96 points. That's because they knocked down all their free throws. They're 21 of 23 from the line. They're a very good free throw shooting team. Now the team shot particularly well from distance, about 30%. Roundabout way, 26 and 33. So what's going to happen in this game? That's my question. This is a tough, I mean, I don't know how odds makers can possibly even set a line, but I think they've tipped their hand just a little bit. And I'll tell you what I mean. And I do have a play. So there's some interesting ways this game's going to roll out. And you can have all sorts of predictive models. For me, ultimately, it's just a little bit of a gut play and a little bit of a line play. It's a compelling line. It's a compelling line. Let me tell you what I mean. Okay, so the line came out at 201.5. All right. So in this series, here are the lines, the totals that have been set by odds makers. 204.5 under. 205.5 under, 207 under. So they went up and it still went under. 204.5, they finally went over that 111-102 in game 4, and that was at Cleveland. Then they went 204.5, they went over. They went 205 under that ugly 96-83 game. And then 201.5, in which they went over last game at Cleveland, LeBron going nuts. And then they did not blink, 201.5 and again, but the lines dropped. Right now, of course, the public's a little bit on the over, not a lot. It was more yesterday, But right now it's settled to almost 50-50. But it's actually 51% and about 49%. So, yeah, about 50-50. But the line's dropped. And it's dropped significantly. It's gone from 201.5 to 198.5. It was at 199.5 last night, my time here in Japan, last time I checked the line. And I almost jumped on it right there, but I was hoping people would jump on the over because I'm taking the under. I'm going to take the under. I don't love it, but for a unit, I like it because I think it's a smarter play. Because, first of all, Love was out last game, and they still scored 109 points. I think they're going to make up for his loss just fine. They've got to stop LeBron, of course. Now, Boston's favored just by a couple points. I think it's going to be a fantastic game. Well, I mean, duh, go figure. But it's the line that what gets me on. The line makes me, and the movement of the line makes me want to go ahead and back the under. I think there's some sharp money on the under because oddsmakers really didn't blink on the line. 201.5. I mean, they could have came out with 203. That would have been fine. But they're setting that line low for a reason, and it's dropped. I think some sharps are on it, so I'm going to go with them on this, and I'm going to go under the 198.5. I think it's going to be a real trudge. I think Boston's defense is really going to step up. I think they're going to do a lot what they did in game one, and that's send a lot of guys at LeBron and let the other players from Cleveland beat them. But they're still going to rotate and defend the three really well because that's what they do. You know, we look at the last three games, the number's actually – the number looks low, but it's actually right. If we just look at like the last three games, just a snapshot, you got Cleveland averaging 101 points the last three games. You got Boston averaging 99 points the last three games. You got Cleveland giving up 99 points the last three games. This is per average. And Boston allowing 101 points the last three games per average. Isn't that interesting? 101, 99, 99, 101 per average. Average it out. Check it out. Isn't that interesting? You average all that up, it's 200 points. So they came out at 201.5. So actually, according to the last three games, actually the line looks a little bit high, but not according to historically how they've set the line between these two teams. We have not seen a line this low. That's the 201.5. We just saw that last game. That's the lowest line that we've seen between Boston and Cleveland since. I mean, it's a really low line since 2015. Since April of 2015. There was a 201.5. And then there was a 197 all the way back in their first or second game of the series they had back in 2015. So that was a playoff series, I think. Yeah, but that was, a couple years back. But they've had, I don't know, 20 games in between that period, and oddsmakers have never set a total this low except for the last game, 201.5, and they went over, and oddsmakers didn't blink on the line. That makes me want to back the under. If it ends up at 199, I'm going to be mad, or 200, I'm going to be mad. But for a unit, I'm okay right now. I'm going to be hopefully. Let's see. I had the Angels and the Yankees. I had them under the 8. It was 3-1 last time I checked. What's the score? Okay, it's 3-1, runner on third with 2 outs. So I took the under. I went against the public on that one with Tanaka and Richards after Trout went absolutely crazy yesterday. Gosh, he's good. Okay, ball game. So I'm up a unit because I had the Angels, Yankees under the total. So yay for me. And I'm going under this one, under 198.5. I'll probably end up getting them at like 197 because I'm going to go ahead and give a point so I can get better value. I think it's better value. I think it's going to be low. I think it's going to end up around 190. It's going to be a great game. I think it's going to be a defensive battle. All right, what do you got for me? Bill, konnichiwa, konnichiwa, Chuckster. I had a friend in high school who used to call me that. Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa. Ohayo gozaimasu. That means good morning. And Brian Lee, notification squad. Cam, Raphael, told you, Warriors, team total over 112. Good call by you, Cam. And I was on that. I think that was a great call. I'm miffed. I'm not angry because it's handicapping. I'm going to lose games. But I thought it was a good call, man. I'd say out of the playoffs so far, at least the finals, the Eastern and Western Conference finals, I thought that was the best call I've had. Oh, no, I don't want to say that. Sorry. Forget I said that. That was the most disappointed I was out of every call I've made, just because the Rockets, because they should have got there. They really should have. But the Rockets just stopped scoring. And that was really frustrating, especially after they scored. I mean, how do you score 36 in one quarter and then score, like 10 in another in the same game? They scored, what did they score? Like 40 points in the second, or like 50 points? No. They scored 50 points total in the second, third, and fourth quarter, I believe. Check me on that. Or right around 50 points in 3 quarters. The Houston Rockets. What is that? Come on, man. That's frustrating is what it is. All right, let's continue. Joseph, being on the wrong side of that total was almost comical. Yeah, like I said, yeah. And it's just, those are the ones. And this is the handicapping part that and the money management part that you've got to suck up. You lose it, then you come back on this game today and you want to like double up or, martingale it, and don't do that. This game could very well lose, or unless, depending on what you got. But I got the under. I'm going under the 198.5. For this segment, I'm under the 198.5. I'll probably go even lower than that, like I said. There's nothing you can do about it. There's been games that's gone the opposite way as well for us. I believe in this playoff, there was one game where it should have gone over. I think it's Boston and Cleveland, and they didn't score anything in the fourth quarter, and we got under. LeBron in the over with Jim Bean. Joseph again, 12 points for Houston. Oh, it was 12 points. Okay. In the final 18 minutes, I think it was. They were bad, man. Yeah, they were bad. 12 points in the final 18 minutes. That's crazy. For Houston, even without Chris Paul, that's crazy. Let's see. Overtime. What up, Charlie? Nothing. Just here. Handicapping this Cleveland Boston. Hopefully it goes under the total. We'll see. And if you guys like the under, if you like the over, that's an okay call. I think the number's just about right. But for me, the fact that it's gone down really gets my radar up, considering, again, and it's a really low total set. Well, the number's about right, but it's a low total historically over the past couple years. I already went over that. Let's see. Brian Lee, I see 65, 35, over under. Oh, really? I don't have that. I have like 50-50 at Sportsbook Review. But I'm taking the under. Well, there was definitely a steam move at the beginning, because it was about 56, 57% were on the over, and the line already dropped. So I think sharps are on the under, and I'm going to go with that. And if it loses, it loses. If it loses, we bounce back. What else we got here? Jim Bean, no love equals no chance for the Cavs. LeBron. Don't sleep on LeBron. But I think it's a tough spot for Cleveland. Boston's going to play pretty fearless. I think they'll be ready to go. Tilo, konnichiwa, Charles. Konnichiwa. Wow, I got 2 konnichiwas today. I'm okay with that. We can speak Japanese. And we got Brian Lee, open at 201.5, now 198. I got him at 198.5. We'll see where it moves. And what else we got? Bill, overtime in Boston, maybe. And if it goes overtime, that would suck, because they'll probably be the over. Sean, Boston gets it done tonight. I have no opinion on that, man. I'm not betting against LeBron. I'm not. I'd like to see Boston in it. That'd be kind of cool. Francisco, yesterday someone asked you a great question. What do you trust more, your capping or your line? Yeah, that was a good question. You should have a weekly Gamble 101 question, such as how to read line moves. So when is a line move important? When? Francisco, you also always have great questions, my man. When does a line move important? A line move is always important. A line move, let me rephrase that. A line move is something you should always pay attention to. And it should affect your handicapping. It's not, nothing is gospel. There is no one set thing. I'm only going to be a steam move player. I'm only going to be a statistics player. I'm only going to be against the public player. There's no one slot fits all sort of thing. I mean, there's websites out there that will update you if there's a steam move or a big money move or whatever. That's just, remember, when heavy money is going in on a game and the line gets pushed one way, that's just somebody's opinion. It's just an opinion. It doesn't mean they're giving green money. Well, I shouldn't say green or Hill. They're giving Hill money for the Cavs, to not shoot as well tonight. So it's not like that. It's just they are reading something in the matchups, the rotations that maybe other people they have some sort of better insight, and they're willing to risk a good sum of capital to go ahead and change that line. And we're talking when a line moves, we're talking millions of dollars. We're talking, you're talking about big guys, big whales that are moving that line. So I don't always go with them. This one I am. So back to your question. When is the line move important? I think it's always important. It's always something to pay attention to. Always. But I think you have to have an all-encompassing strategy in order to handicap again, in order to have that nice 54, 55% win percentage. And then you have to take your losses. That's huge. You got to be able to take your losses. I got to take that loss yesterday. I had a bad day in Japanese baseball too. I was 0 for 2 yesterday. I had 2 really good calls, and I got snake bit, and I just got to live to see today. So yesterday I was like 0 and 3 or 0 and 4 yesterday. That's the way it goes, man. Good stuff, Francisco. As always, Jim Bean, Boston wins by 10 plus. We'll see. Bella 96. What do you think about the first half under 100.5? Even though Boston tends to start slow. I've been laying off the first half lines. I wish I did not yesterday because I would have liked the over on the first half, and they got there. So right now, I kind of like watching to see where the line's at and then seeing what oddsmakers put out the second half and go from there. I have no opinion on that. I like the under for the whole game at 198.5. Francisco, where do you rank LeBron all time? Call me crazy, but I'm still not convinced Jordan was better than Magic. I'm a Laker fan, so I'm biased. Yeah, Jordan was better than Magic. I love Magic Johnson. Jordan was better than Magic. Jordan is the greatest player of all time. LeBron second. But, you're talking about pure dominance, like somebody who dominated the game more than anybody else, probably Wilt Chamberlain. If you want to talk about pure dominance. There's some other players out there that, like old school guys, that get overlooked. LeBron's right there, though, man. You can't deny it. You can't deny the numbers. Jordan's he's ridiculous, though, man. Now remember when they played that Olympic, that hush hush game, that Olympic game with that all-star Olympic team, the dream team, Jordan's team beat Magic's team. So at least I think that was the case. Double check me on that. Tilo, Magic's great, man. He's in your starting 5 all time. He's at the point. Your first staff, just go first quarter. Okay. Overtime 22. Celtics win by 20. Ooh. That's a bold prediction. Jim Bean, who's going to score besides LeBron? I know, honestly. I don't know. Green's getting the start for Love. Jim Bean, J.R. Smith stinks. He'll probably he is streaky. He'll probably light it up for like 20 tonight and go like 4 of 6 from 3. You watch. He's streaky, man. I don't know. Tilo, careful. Junior Smith and Kyle Korver are really good at threes when they're down by 20. Yeah. Tilo, Boston makes LeBron leave Cleveland again. We'll see. We will see. And Lloyd Christmas. Hey, what's up? Looked pretty solid till the Monsters stole the Rockets' talent. Yeah, I know. I don't know what happened, man. I thought it was a good call. And that happens. Sometimes I just make bad calls and I'm like, that was a bad call. But sometimes you make good calls, but sports happen. And then teams don't score. The ball doesn't drop and nothing you can do. Jimmy, Golden State beats Boston in 5 games in the final. Well, they got to beat Houston at Houston first. We'll see. Yeah, Golden State's pretty tough. Sean Robertson, the Indians game is nuts. I have not been watching that. Yeah, 8-8 in the 10th. Holy cow. What else we got here? Raymond, probably the worst UFC decision in the history of the promotion I saw today. I did not see anything about that, Raymond. So, but thanks for sharing. You'd have to probably elaborate if other people wanted to talk about that. Raphael, 50 points. Yeah, the last 3 quarters. Rockets scored 26 total second half. Gosh darn, or 25 points. Yeah, it was awful. Henry Jenkins Jr., my book totals have moved to 199. Okay. I saw, like I said, I'm on the under 198.5. Joseph, I think you're right about the line move in this Boston-Cleveland total. I was a little surprised when it started to go down. Probably right side to go under. I'm on it with you. Okay. I think it's the right call. We'll see what happens. And for a unit, everything's a unit. So I don't really sweat it in the long term. I think the right call is the under. And if they sneak over, they sneak over. There's nothing you can do about it. But that line looks interesting. I mean, it looks low just on initial assessment. Ron, any thoughts on the Cub games tonight? I thought that line's weird. It's gone from 9.5 to 10. I don't know. Is the wind blowing out in Wrigley? I'd have to find out about that first. That's a big line, man. Is Stratton that bad? Is it? Oh, no, it's Block. I'm sorry. Or Blatch. It's Blatch, right? Tyler Blatch. Is it Tyler versus Tyler? And then Chatwood? Or maybe it's just tie and tie. Gosh, it's gone from 9.5 to 10 as far as the total is concerned. Big juice on the over. Kind of makes me like the over. That would be my. I'd have to look at that a little bit more. And Lloyd, I'm on the Stros today. Yeah, crazy game. We just talked about that. Overtime 22. Any lean on the side? Charlie. I don't go by that. Boston to cover, maybe. Man, that's a tough call. That's like 2.5 right now. That's a really tough call overtime. I think the under is actually a better play. If any, oh man, I got no opinion. It's just I think it's too hard of a call. If gun to my head, I'd take Boston, just because I think they're going to do a good job. But it's LeBron, man. He's so hard to go against. LeBron is 5-0 lifetime in Game 7. Never been against. Yeah. Brian Lee, streaks don't last forever. Today can likely be the day. Overtime 22. This is a 1-unit play for you. Yeah, everything's a 1-unit play. I might say a half unit, but for me, it's a 1-unit play. Everything's a 1-unit play. That's triple digits for me. And the significant triple digits. But, pardon me. Everything, yeah, 1 unit. Bill, Chuckster, do you remember what was your first ever winning sports bet? Was it an epiphany type moment? Hashtag Ask Chuck. Oh, Bill. My first winning sports bet? Dude, I've been doing this 20 years, man. I'm old. I'm well into my 40s. I look a lot older. I'm a lot older than I look. I think I hit a parlay. I don't know. I used to work in a casino a long time ago. I dealt blackjack in my 20s, and I would work the floor as well. I don't remember my first ever winning one. I don't know. Both my parents gambled a little bit. My dad was a big poker player when it started to get popular back in the day. We're talking 20 years ago. I don't know. Great question. I don't have an answer. Maybe I hit a parlay. I don't know. The first time I thought I could actually make money from doing this, though, was about 10 years ago. 7 years ago, when I was kind of messing around, playing around, and about it may be more closer to 8 years ago is when I started to take it really serious. When I was pretty sound financially as a professional, so I was able to invest in this. And once I invested in it, that's when my bankroll started to build. Now I've taken out from it from time to time over the last 8 years, but I've always kept it at a pretty significant level. You cannot make. I mean, it's almost like passive income. I mean, you got to do your homework and stuff, but it's a great way if you manage your money correctly. It's an excellent way to make side money. And if you got a significant bankroll, you can make a living from this. That's not me, though. Also, I really like what I do professionally, and I don't want to change that because I just enjoy it. But you can make money from this, man. Absolutely. But you got to be really, really sound money management. You can't go on tilt. All right. Thank you, Bill. Jim, being the king is alone. The rest of his team stinks. Give me boss. Okay, Francisco. 2 random questions. Can you bet on sumo wrestling? And if yes, is it big? No, I cannot. I'll answer that right away. No, I watch sumo wrestling. I used to be into it a lot more. Not so much. I just don't have time to watch it anymore. It's huge in Japan. But no, and also that's sumo wrestling in Japan. They're still talk about a black market. I mean, like the Yokozuna guys, they'll lose. It's a gambling sport in Japan. I don't know where to do it, but people do it. But the Yokozuna guys or the Ozekis, the two top tier guys, they'll lose to the lower tier guys, and it looks fishy. And it's a money prize when they win too. It's an interesting sport. But yeah, they fight for money. I don't know where to do that, and I don't. And well, here we go. And I love sushi and izakayas, okay? But I have no idea what a typical Japanese breakfast is. What is a typical Japanese breakfast? For us, my wife with the kids, for me, I kind of do intermittent fasting, so I'll skip breakfast a lot. But my kids will have, rice, a little bit of vegetables, and like eggs. That's pretty typical for a There used to be like maybe a little piece of fish and right. It's what you would imagine. They'll have eggs, they'll have bacon and stuff like that. That's okay in Japan. It's not crazy weird, anything like that. But they'll have like rice and they'll put on the little seaweed and stuff like that. Everything's healthy, man. I mean, Japan, there's not a weight problem in Japan because the eating it's extremely healthy here. But I'm American. I have to be very careful because I'll gain weight real fast. Jim Being, Jordan fadeaway cannot be defended. Swish every time. All right. Andrew C., who wins? I don't know, man. I think Boston. Elio Rodriguez, great show. What sports do you cap? Mostly, Elio, welcome to the segment. Nice to see you. We cap basketball and baseball, mostly. Not really football so much. So this is totals. We'll hit up Major League Baseball a lot when basketball finishes, but we hit college basketball. That's our main sport. That's for sides, really. But this is a college total show. And then we hit NBA basketball and we hit Major League Baseball. Those are the main ones we do. Elio, good to see you. Andrew C., below 38 or over on LeBron? Ooh, I'd go under. That's a lot of points. We'll see. Ron, who do you think picks up the rebounding with Love out? I don't know. LeBron. I don't know, man. I don't know. Andrew C., need a winner. Me too. I need a winner too, man. I don't want to get on a bad streak here. I'm going under. We'll see what happens. But again, you have to remember, I'm looking at the month. Today's just one day. Right now I'm 1-0. I got the Yankees Angels under. I booked that. I'm taking that unit. I'm going to put it on Boston and Cleveland on the under, and then I'll have a Japanese baseball play later in the day. Overtime 22. I'm staying away from this total. Boston struggles to score at times. OT very well can happen. So much variance. Well, I wouldn't play or not play a game based on whether I think it's going to go overtime because that's a rare occurrence. It might. I think the odds are low that it does that, but it's always a possibility in basketball. But I love that you're staying away from the total. Good for you. Way to have a discipline. That's great. I kind of like the under. I mean, I'm willing to put a unit on it. That's how much I like it. Bill, do they eat peanut butter in Japan? Yes. With jelly? No. We don't have like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. No. I mean, we might make it for our kids. I mean, there is jelly. Yeah, there is jelly, but it's not. They don't really have like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. That's a little bit rare. Not super rare. It's not crazy. I think they've heard of it. Andrew C., hello. Well, hello back to you. Francisco, I had Boston on Friday, and part of my calculation was I heard a sharp bet, $100,000 on Boston. Is that smart on my part to let that influence me? I think it's always I'm letting it influence me. The fact that the lines moved from 201.5 down to 198.5, but the public's still a little bit on the over. I'll let that influence me from time to time. What I ultimately think trumps anything, any line movement. I don't care how it moves. If I believe this game's going to go one way or another, I'm going with that. I will not. I might look at the line movement, and more often than not, I'll be like, I don't care. I'm right, and I'm going with this. And then if I lose, I lose. But you got to go with what. Don't let it. Well, let me put it this way: you can let it influence you to a point. Do you understand? Do you get my drift? Don't let it influence you ultimately to talk you out of a play. If you really like a play, then you have to go with it. Now, you may win or may lose, but in the long run, you're going to win more, I believe, with your own instincts and your own handicapping skills. If you have smart money management, in the long run, you're going to win. I think most of you out there could probably do this and make some really good side money if you would stop going on tilt, stop betting more than you can, stop betting on too many plays. Stop. If you stop doing, like those three things, you can ultimately make money. But the problem is we get greedy or and also what happened yesterday doesn't affect today. What happened yesterday that means nothing. It doesn't mean just because they went over last game doesn't mean they're going to go over again today, or they're 8-0 on the over on September's when the moon is full on a Friday. That means nothing. Those trends mean nothing. Right now we have Boston, I believe, in this series, the under. What are they? 3-0, 3-0, and the unders hit every time they've been at Boston. Let's see. So let me explain. So let's see. They went, the first two games they went under, and then the last game of Boston they went under. Okay, so the 3 games of Boston they've all gone under the total. Does that mean this one's going to go under the total? No, it doesn't. I like the under because of the line movement, but because the number's different. It was 204.5, 205.5, and 205. The number's different. So just because the trend says they're 3-0 on the under at home here in the Eastern Conference playoffs doesn't mean it's going to go under again. So stuff like that, like you're talking about, if letting things influence you. First of all, don't let trends influence you. Sharp money can influence you to a point, but ultimately it's got to be your decision. This is my decision. This is my choice. All right. Sorry. Getting off on a tangent there. Great question. Jesse, what's the play today? Sorry, we're on the under. We're on the under, buddy. Andrew C., LeBron, James, George, Antwi? Boston or Cavs? I don't know, man. Lean on Boston. George again, I'm scared of LeBron. Maybe the referees will help him. I don't know about that. Boston's a tough place to play. Lloyd, mine was a 13-1 team to win by 11 to 13 points where it hit on a last-minute safety. Felt good. Didn't let it go. Like your first big win? I think somebody asked a question about that. Stephen Chamberlain. Cleveland has dominated every game that has had any significance. Well, they've all had significance, haven't they? I would disagree with that. You'd have to elaborate more on that. Sean Thompson. You mean like historically or in this series? Sean Thompson, on the Cavs, don't care. All right. See, and that's what I'm talking about. Sean Thompson comes in. I'm on the Cavs. I don't care. This is what I like. And ultimately, you've got to do that. And then if you lose, you take the loss and you move on. But you've got to make your decision. Because I think most of you out there that are coming into this segment right now are better handicappers than you give yourselves credit. Because you're in here in this little segment that's going to get 500 to 1,000 views. Not a huge worldwide segment, but you're in here because handicapping is important to you. And I'm going to give you good information. So that means you take this serious. The fact that you're in here. That's why I want to go over everybody's comment, because I want to give you the respect you deserve for coming in here. That being said, where you are losing money, I'm talking to you out there. Where you're losing money is you are not managing your money correctly. Your money management sucks. And until it improves, you're not going to make money betting on sports. There. How's that for a hard truth? I say it because I care. I say it because I care. All right. But that's great. Good for Sean. Stephen Chamberlain. I'm in Cavs money line for 1,000. And I think that's awesome too. Plus money line value. Good luck. Jim Bean. Cavs will not win and it won't be close. Opposite opinion. Love it. Prakash. Referees play a big role. I'm sure Cavs will benefit. We'll see. Joseph Aquino. I took LeBron total points under 37.5 plus 120. Plus money line value. Good way to go. We'll see what happens. LeBron, his ankle is hurt. Yeah, that's from Andrew. I don't know. We'll see about that. I know he was banged up a little bit, but it's LeBron. He'll be fine. Lloyd Christmas, I feel LeBron will score 40 plus, but not much for supporting cast. Elio Rodriguez, use Twitter. No, I mentioned this before. I don't use Twitter. I don't have time for it, to be honest. I don't have time for it. George, what Japanese baseball are you on? I haven't even checked the lines for today. Yesterday, I lost. I was 0-2. I was pretty mad because I had over 8.5. Ton of opportunities to get over, and they ended up at 8. I was not happy. That's really rare to have a total that high. Joseph Aquino, total number of overtime games in the NBA playoffs is a very low percentage. Bill, Chuck, did you ever wear bell-bottom slacks? I can see you rocking an afro as well. Afro? No, this hair is not afro-ish. It won't go afro. Maybe when I was a little kid, I might have wore those pants. Ken Peacock, does the NBA want the Cavs in the finals? And is this a legacy game for LeBron? He's had enough legacy games. He doesn't need another one. He's had enough, Ken. So I don't know if they want him in the final. I think Boston's a great draw as well. I mean, who doesn't want to watch Boston versus Golden State or Boston versus Houston? I think they're set up any way you go, however the matchups are. I think there's all sorts of storylines in which they can promote it. Marco. Hi, Charles. Hi, Marco. What's the play? We're going under the 198.5. Eon Gordon, $2 only. Okay, I'm not sure what that means. Joseph, you're absolutely right about the money management. It took me some time to learn that. Yeah, that's what people don't want to do. If you want to look, it's your money. You do what you want with it. If you want to gamble your money away, which I highly don't recommend because you need money to buy food and stuff. It's too frustrating for me. It's too frustrating. I hate to see take your hard-earned money and just go on tilt, and all of a sudden you have say you have a couple $1,000 and all of a sudden the next day you have zero. It's the worst feeling in the world too, man. It's such an awful feeling. So just don't do it. I mean, and if you are doing that and you continue to do that, then you need some help. You need some help. You probably have a gambling addiction and you need some help. I'm a straight up handicapper. This is an investment for me. If I lose this, I'm fine. If I lose the next 10 games in a row, I'm fine because I'll adjust. And it's happened over the last 8 years. There's been times where I've gone 0-10. It happens. And they've been bad beats, but when that happens, then I'll short it down. I'll drop to a half unit and I'll just go one play a day until I kind of feel like I get some traction again. That's me though. Everybody's different about that. Okay. That's just how I roll, but anyways, you have to do what you think is right. Okay. And let's continue on. Johnny B. Bad. I kind of like the over. Boy, do I know. I don't know. What do you know? What do you know? What do we all know, Johnny? The fact that we know things, I think, is a fascinating philosophical question. That we are able to know things. Like the difference between good and bad. How do you know that? How do you internalize that? How are you able to recognize the fact you understand the difference between good and bad? Think about that for a little bit. I could elaborate on that. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, again, are you guessing or are you doing your research? If you're going to put your money on something, do some research. Or come in here. I'll do the research for you and we can talk about it. Andrew C. Cubs or Giants? I don't know about that one. Overtime 22. Great show today, Stark. Yeah, this is a good one. We're having some good conversations in here. You guys are awesome. Casey, or they change your opinion and you lose. Are we talking about the steam moves? Yeah, but I mean, that's what I'm saying. The way I'm able to sleep at night, win or lose, is it's my decision. So yeah, I see a steam move here and I'm going with that, but there's been times where I don't. But it's ultimately I have to I mean, yesterday, Houston, let's be frank. Houston and Golden State yesterday should have gone over. They didn't. I lost. The call was wrong. Period. End. I have to live with that. And I'm going to. And I'm going to move on to the next day. I take the loss because it's an investment plan, guys. This isn't I lost. Oh my gosh, I got to double. No, it's fine. Totally cool. Yeah, I mean, we can lament the fact that Houston didn't score at all the last 3 quarters, but at the end, it lost. It's a loser. They could have lost by a half point. They could have lost by 30 points. They lost. The point is you lose. Now what do we do about that? Then okay. You're how you handle things mentally in handicapping, it's huge. When that game lost or when I saw it was going to lose, this was my reaction. Okay, let's see what's next. Then I started handicapping my Japanese baseball. You can't take it personally. People take it, and people talk about their bad losses and their bad beats. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you lose by a point or 20 points. It's still minus your bankroll. So take the loss, be a man, and move on. I mean, I like to talk about it because it's just, I find it fascinating, the fact they only scored 50 points in 3 quarters. Because I find that, not the fact that I lost money, but the fact that they did that. I think that's amazing. It's incredible. How do they do that? But the fact that lost, it doesn't matter. Sorry, I'm going off on a tangent. I hope you guys are not paying attention to a lot of this. Lloyd Chris has edit that to a PS public service now. Yeah. Ron, too many plays is a surefire way to lose. I'm proving that. Yeah. And me too in my earlier years of handicapping. Lloyd, the problem is because you want to win every day. So if you lose a play, then you play the next one, and then you lose, and then you play the next one, and you lose. Now you're 0-3 on the day, and what a lot of guys will do is they'll either double up on a last play of the day, a game they haven't researched, or, you know, and whether they might, maybe they win it and they feel good, but in the end, that's going to bite you. It's going to come back and get you. Always. You have to take the loss and go to the next day. It's frustrating. I feel like I'm being like an educator here. All right, let's continue. LeBron, Lloyd Christmas 10. That LeBron injury was a fugazi, definitely career in Hollywood in the future. Yeah, I think so as well. Casey, first part got lost. Just disregard. Thanks for your insight, Charles. The Husketeers, I don't buy food. I shoplift. You thief. Do not shoplift. Don't shoplift, man. Come on. Buy your food like a regular person. And MMK, 91-91 final score today. Bill, Chuck, can we one day get a peek out the window behind the mysterious curtain? You can do it right now. It's a little bit cloudy here today. I have no problem showing you the neighborhood. Let me, 1 second, just for you, Bill. Let me, if I can open this thing up. Oh, now it's locking on me. I don't know how to control the window. You can see my neighborhood. I'll show you the neighborhood. Oh, sorry. Let me make sure I got this going correctly. You want to see the neighborhood? Here's my neighborhood. That's Japan. Okay. You see that? Pretty cool, huh? I live in a nice neighborhood. So those houses, that's kind of like how my house looks. Okay. Cool. Okay. I'll show you. I got no problem showing you my neighborhood. I live in Japan. Kind of a dreary day today. Hopefully the sun will peek out. All right. Cool. Give me a thumbs up. All right. No problem, man. I got no problem with that. That's kind of a little bit of brightness in here. Yeah, I can take the camera to my balcony and I can show you Mount Fuji. A little bit in the distance. Well, today it's cloudy. I probably can't see it today. Okay. What we got here? Wow, appreciate that nice view. Well, I mean, it's just a neighborhood. The other side is actually outside my balcony here. I have there's a forest, and then you got in the background's the ocean, and in the background off that way is Mount Fuji. Yeah, I actually climbed Mount Fuji a couple years ago. It's pretty fun. All right. So let's, we got a couple more and then we're going to get out of here. Not much greenery to walk dogs. Our pets. Well, I mean, it's a neighborhood. Dogs are up and down this all the time. There's actually a park off. There's a park to the side and there's a marina a little bit in the background as well. So yeah, there's dogs all over the place. Yeah, and there's those little parks here and there. Okay. A couple more and I'm going to get out of here. Francisco, interesting fact. If you view 100 random coin flips and 100 straight bets from a good bettor, they look almost exactly the same. And they look the same in the amount of streaks, 8, 11 straight wins, or I'm guessing, or heads or tails. Yeah, that could be possible. Sure, that could be possible. I'd have to, I don't know anything really about that, Francisco. But yeah, I mean, money management. It's money management. Here we go. Bill, everyone hit the like button. Yeah, hit the like button. I showed you my neighborhood. Joseph, great stuff. Really enjoy the show. Joseph, I enjoy you guys coming in here. You guys are what makes the show great. But I'm honestly, so, and I'm going to get out of here in just like 2 minutes, but, and the show's gone. This is way longer for me today. And I'll get to your last comments here. But so there's been a lot of likes for this segment. It's been great, but I'm not getting enough views, which sucks. Because right now I'm only getting like the max I'm getting is like 500 views, but I really need to get like to 1,000 or more to really have some sort of significance. So if you can share the video with your friends or just get it out there to have them come in and talk, that'd be really great because we want to get it to like 1,000. But again, I've only been doing the show on YouTube here, I think less than a month or just about a month. So there hasn't been that many shows, but ultimately we'd like to get it to over 1,000 views. That'd be nice. And then hopefully it will really take off, but we'll see how it goes. Bill, you got wild bears in the forest. No, there might be some wild boars, but not bears. Ron, your homework for Tuesday, looking to WNBA one game. I'm sorry, I'm not reading you correctly there, Ron. Johnny B. Bad, great show, great host. Well, thank you. Great viewers. Great viewers, honestly. The viewership here is excellent because you guys seem to be informed and you don't say a lot of stupid stuff, which is good. And I finally really do want to get out of here. Let's see. I just heard my kid just got up too. Bill, what kind of animals are you most likely to be attacked by in Japan? Not many. If you're like out in the forest, there's wild boars, but it's pretty rare, man. It's pretty rare. There's not really a lot's going to attack you. And there's no guns, so you're not going to get shot. I mean, that's super, super unbelievably rare. I'm not going to get in any sort of gun debate here. That's not my point. The point is, though, the gun laws here are super, super strict. There are no guns. There's no – you don't hear on the nightly news about somebody dying from getting shot by a gun. I think they had 4 deaths by gun last year. 4. I like living here. But it's not the safest country in the world. It's one of the safest. There's a lot of other – weird stuff. There's attacks by knives. Sorry, I was getting off on a tangent there. He said attacked. It just made me think of that. And Maya Pelasway. What up, Charles, from Los Angeles? On Boston, first quarter and FG under, lean to Celtics. Full game. Oh, full game. Gotcha. Okay, sorry. I wasn't sure what the acronym was. But not fading LeBron in Game 7. Good luck, Cappers. Good luck to you. Thanks for coming in. Marco Lou, it takes time. Yep. It does. Handicapping takes time. Bill, we got to share on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Tinder. Thanks, Bill. And Marco, don't worry. You are kind of a handicapper that we can discuss and talk about handicapping. Yeah, it is. Because I want to be approachable in that way because I have been doing this for a long time, but I'm not a whale. I don't bet. I have bet in the past like over $1,000 on games when my bankroll was significant. I'm not that far off of that. But now my bankroll's at a place where I'm at just a triple-digit better. So I'm more of your standard regular guy in which you can glean information on because I do work hard on this. I do my homework, and I'm pretty diligent about it, honestly. And I hope you can. I'm not just throwing out. I'm not a tout. I'm just not throwing out a bunch of BS. I'm sure you guys can gather that just by the way I talk over like 10 minutes. All right, let's get out of here. And that's it. Okay, so you guys are coming in. So I appreciate all the comments. You guys, again, I'm going to get my kids some breakfast here. But for us today, love the allergies. We got under 190.5. So, again, let's see if it's moved at all since we've started this segment. So, right now, Oddsmakers had it at 201.5. Pardon me. We have the public's a little bit on the over, but it's dropped. So, a bit of a steam move here. 198.5. That's the way it looks across the board at most the reputable sports books, and that's what we're going to go with too. So I'm going to take a shot here with Boston Cleveland under the 198.5. Please tune in again for Stark Raving totals, 4:30 p.m. Eastern, and that is Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. Share the video, like the video. We want to get the viewership up. You got to see a little bit of my neighborhood today. I don't mind showing that. That's fine. And I appreciate you guys coming in and taking your time to talk and chat and, see where we're going to be at on sports on the day and sharing your opinions. I appreciate it. So one last time for us today, one unit, Boston, Cleveland under the 198.5 and NBA Eastern Conference. We'll be back on Tuesday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern. You guys, great to see you. Take care.